Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to show you what I eat for breakfast on one meal a day, which is OMAD. Now, a lot of us carnivores do OMAD, but not all of us. And I don't even do it all the time, I just do it mostly. And what's interesting is that I don't ever eat breakfast. But yesterday, I wanted to eat breakfast in the morning time. Well, it was like 10 a.m., which is odd for me. I don't normally do that. So I thought it would be interesting to show you what I made, how much I eat when I'm just doing it one time a day. Because, I mean, I look at videos like that. But if you know me, you know that I am being kind of hypocritical because I do poke a lot of fun at the whole talking about what you eat all the time, because it is kind of an occupational hazard with carnivores, because we have to think about that type of thing. But another thing that was really interesting as I was making this breakfast, it occurred to me that eggs are a very personal thing. They really are, because I noticed amongst people in my family that, man, you want your eggs made exactly how you like them. And people do all kinds of different things with eggs. So that's also something I kind of go over in this video. But I'm going to show you how I do mine. And man, am I particular about how I do my eggs. A little bit weird, in fact. A lot weird, actually. The things that I demand of my eggs, like I've never heard other people really say. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But let's get into this. I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time, got no filter, I got no filter, no filter, I got no filter, no filter, I got no filter, no filter, I got no filter. So this is my eggs, which I have to do in a bullet. I'm extremely weird about my eggs. They have to be done in a bullet, and I'll kind of go over why that is in a minute. But the first thing that I make is the meat. And I always have to have meat when I have eggs. Like I have to have breakfast meats. And in this meal, I'm doing both the sausage, which I'm very funny about also. So with the sausage, I always use this weight, and I'll put like, the aluminum foil over top of it just so it doesn't splatter and everything. It also doesn't make the weight gross or whatever. But I'm so funny about the sausage because if it's not weighted down, it does not become crispy all the way across. Like it has to be perfectly crispy, and you'll see when you turn it over. Well, and forgive me with the camera because I don't have a stand. So I'm just holding the camera with one hand and then cooking with the other. So it's kind of annoying. But you see how it's perfectly brown all the way across and has a crispy exterior? Yeah, I gotta have that. Like, you see where there's like a lighter color where it's not as crispy? I can't eat sausage like that. Like it has to be perfectly crispy on both sides. So yeah, I'm kind of weird. I mean, wait to hear about how I have to have my eggs. Like, it gets even weirder. But if my sausage is not basically a crispy hockey puck, I'm not going to eat it. I mean, it's not hard, but it's just very crunchy. And then I also do bacon in the microwave. And again, both the sausage and the bacon, yeah, I'll show here what I actually used. Not ideal, I'm going to say, because I didn't have the better versions of breakfast meats on hand. And like I always say, if you're eating hot dogs, if that's all you can afford, you're doing way better than you used to do on Standard American. So normally I would have better versions of meat here, but that's just what I had is, what I got from Sam's Club. So I keep cooking the sausage here because, it takes a while to get that hockey puck exterior that I'm looking for. But again, I don't recommend like these breakfast meats because they have quite a few things in them, preservative wise. Not a laundry list, but more than I like, I want my meat to come just with meat. I don't want to have all these other things in there. And I don't like keep that grease from the sausage because sausage has a lot more things in it, and I'm, not really big on that. And my bacon, I also am very odd about my bacon. I want it to be super crispy. And again, this is the pre-cooked microwave stuff. So there's my bacon and my sausage. Not from ideal sources, but it's really good. And I gotta have meat with my eggs. I cannot eat eggs without meat. Another weird thing that I do with breakfast. Okay, as far as eggs go, I usually get the Sam's Club version of brown eggs, whether it's the cage-free or the pasture-raised. I do not buy the white eggs because I got really hooked on the brown eggs that come from the farm, but they don't offer those anymore. They were so good. And man, when you actually start eating those, it's hard to go back to store-bought eggs, but now that I have to do store-bought eggs, I'm definitely always getting the brown eggs because the taste is so much better on those. I don't know why. I don't understand why, but the white eggs don't taste as good. Now, I could eat the white eggs if I had to, if that's all I had kind of thing. I could do that. And then I have to take the eggs and I have to put them in that bullet because I cannot eat eggs that are not whipped in a bullet. I can't do it. Cannot do it. I cannot have any of the egg showing that's white. And that's my thing. And I also have to add, in this case, I'm adding the half and half, the supernatural half and half because I couldn't get the cream. This is the half and half that does not have anything added to it that's bad. No polysorbate 80 and all that junk. So this half and half only has like 1 gram of carbohydrate, so it's not bad. But normally I get the heavy cream, but they did not have any of that available at the time. And I have to go across town to even pick it up because it's the only store that doesn't have all the polysorbate 80 and all that crap that's in the carrageenan and all that junk. I did a video about that. It's just inflammation causing garbage. So in this case, I'm using the half and half, but it worked pretty good. So it did the job. Because the way that I have to have eggs is that I have to have no white showing. I cannot eat an egg white. So egg whites, in my opinion, and this is just taste, not nutrition content and all that. I'm saying that if you wanted to torture me, you could tie me up to a chair and you could feed me egg whites, and I would be so traumatized by that. I cannot eat the white of an egg when it's separate from the yolk. Now, when you blend it all together, and the beauty of this is like you blend it like it's kind of foamy. It is so good. It makes it so much better. And you add the heavy cream or the half and half in this case to it. It just makes, I don't know, it just makes eggs like, I've never had eggs that taste that good. It's just awesome. So that's really all I do is for my eggs, I add the salt. I'll add the heavy cream, or in this case, half and half, and then I'll whip the crap out of them. And I whip them for a really long time. You know, they're nice and frothy and everything. So, and then when I cook them, another thing about me and eggs is that you cannot have any brown. Like, you know how if you you pour the eggs out in the pan, and then if you let it sit too long, or if you have your heat up too much, it turns kind of brownish. Yeah, not gonna happen. Can't do that. It's like I can't eat eggs that way. I don't know what it is about me and eggs and being so particular. And I love them. I love them when I make them this way, but oh my God, like I cannot have any brown on it. So that's another thing about me cooking eggs. And in this footage, I'm making the eggs a lot more dry in the end than I would normally do. Normally, I would make them, not quite as done before I put the butter on there. Because in the end, I put the butter, pats of butter to coat it, at the last step. But what was funny is that my son actually asked me to add some more eggs because my granddaughter had gotten up and she wanted eggs for breakfast. And so I threw some more in there. And they always want to eat their eggs like drier. So, eggs are a personal thing. Like, people really have to have eggs a certain way. Now, I will say one exception to this is I'll eat fried eggs, which I know, I just contradicted myself. But the fried egg, what I eat them with is liverwurst, and it has to have a runny center. And the runny center has to coat the white part. So in that case, I can tolerate the white because it's kind of thin, like the white part's thin and it's coated in the yolk. And I have to have the liverwurst with it because I have to eat like the perfect bite. I have to have a bite of liverwurst, some of the yolky like white, and I can do it. But I haven't done that in forever because I can't find any liverwurst that doesn't have a bunch of junk in it. So, there again, very weird about eggs. But I have met a lot of people that are particular. Maybe not in the way I am, like a psychopath, but they're very particular about how their eggs are made and they don't want them done wrong. So, eggs, very, very personal thing, but maybe it's just me. But then we get to a really important part where at the end, when the eggs are finished, you put the butter on them. And like I said, I would not have done them this done if it wasn't for my granddaughter. And I can eat them either way. It's fine. That part's fine. But I have to have the butter at the end to coat the eggs in before you put them on the plate, because that makes all the difference in the world. So here we have my finished OMAD breakfast, and I will eat all of this. This is about 5 eggs and a whole pile of sausage and a pile of bacon, and I will eat all of it, and I will likely not want anything for the rest of the day. And yes, I will be putting Frank's Red Hot on those eggs. Just saying. Not a lot. I don't really eat much, but most of the time when I eat eggs, I have to have Frank's Red Hot. Just like I have to have the crispy sausage, and I have to have no white, and I have to have no brown, and I got a lot of requirements for these eggs, y'all. I mean, I do. It's a whole thing. So anyway, that's my breakfast. So let me know in the comments section how you like your eggs. I'll be interested to hear that. Are you as weird as I am, or can you just eat them any old way? And do you eat OMAD, or do you eat multiple times a day? Like, what's your deal? Because I am interested in hearing about that. I just don't talk about it a lot. Thank you so much for watching. And if you did like the video, if you could hit the like button, I would really appreciate it. Also, make sure that you subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you're notified of future content like this. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.